Hey everyone, it's Gypsy Wolf. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you're one of my returning subscribers, I thank each and every one of you for being here yet again. And all of you, I feel very honored to have you here. Alright, so today's video is going to basically be a very simple way to spiritually cleanse. It's a way that you can do it without having to put much effort in. You know, a lot of us are too busy for these elaborate, luxurious baths. Or maybe you don't have a bathtub. Maybe you have young children. Maybe you're a single mom of a young child. You sure as heck rarely have time to take a long, luxurious bath, and even like 3 minutes in the shower is a blessing at times, so I get it. So with this, we are kind of, adding something very simple in your already routine that will help spiritually cleanse you. And I believe that spiritually cleansing is so important. So important. And it needs to be kept up on pretty frequently. Some ways that you need it is if no matter what you do, you're eating right, you're, getting physical activity, you're getting good sleep, but you just feel tired, or you're having stomach problems for no medical reason. That's another one. What else? The feeling of being very blue, and you've ruled out any type of reasoning or chemical imbalance, things like that. So sometimes we just really need to do this, and it's also very important to do after you've done any type of working that isn't all love and light. And I'm going to be showing you some not so nice spells soon. So first, I want to show you what you need to know and do in order to protect yourself and cleanse yourself. Okay, enough of my rambling. Here's what you're going to need. Very simple. Any type of bath blend will do. This is one that I made. You can use really any mixture of herbs that you would like. I used all skin soothing ones because my skin is very dry and very sensitive. So I use things like calendula petals, marshmallow root, chickweed, comfrey, plantain, and none of it, I didn't really add it too much for their magical correspondences, but I did make sure I knew what they were. But the main thing that I like to put in any of these, no matter what herbs I choose, is a bit of colloidal oats, so that comes powdered, and some powdered dry milk. Okay, so if you can get those two things, you can add it to things like just rose petals. You could do lavender and chamomile. All those things are commonly found and great for your skin. Okay, so then what you're going to need is finely grated sea salt, if you choose to use sea salt, or good old-fashioned table salt. Normally I would use sugar because this is going to be a body scrub. Sugar is less aggressive, but we're doing a cleansing. So like I said, finely ground. You will need an oil of some sort. I'm going to use some grapeseed. Use what you have, but I would recommend, if you have something lighter like grapeseed, sunflower, safflower, apricot kernel, things like that. Because olive oil is pretty heavy. That's not going to rinse off of you very well. You might be slipping and sliding afterwards. A mortar and a pestle, or some type of grinder, whatever you've got. If you just have to use your fingers, fine. And then what I do, because this I use, you can use it in the bath, shower, whatever. I like to add a couple of herbs to a bowl with the salt and the oil. So I just have this little tub here from the pack of 3 from Dollar Tree. You don't want glass because we're bringing this into the shower. We don't want the whole bottle because we don't want to get water in there and therefore it gets funky, right? So you'll need that. Okay, that's all you're going to need. Now, for the herbs that I personally chose, I went with the 2 staples for removing hexes, curses, evil eye, anything in that regard. And I'm growing both in my garden, so I have them readily available. It's very helpful. And both of them grew like crazy this year. They turned into like the size of bushes. I have a bit of dried rue. I do not really like the smell of rue, but it's very good at cleansing, so we use oil. A bit of dried hyssop. I have a bit of dried garden sage. And then, last but not least, just 1 dried piece of basil. And that's just my personal preference. I really love basil. I find it very protective. I find it very cleansing. I feel like it brings in blessings, abundance, love, all of that. It does all good stuff. But that's just me. You don't have to use all these herbs. You don't have to use any of them, guys, okay? Use what you've got. But if you have any of these, add them. Or add whatever you feel drawn to. So, we're going to crush them up first with our hands. You can add angelica root is a really good one. Burdock root is more for protection, not cleansing. Lemon peel, that's a really, really good one. I like adding that once in a while. And the smell is great. What else? I mean, really any citrus peel is great. Dried roses, because they have such a high vibration. So they can kind of, in my opinion, be geared for all kinds of things. Not just love. Thyme is an option if you feel like that has cleansing qualities to you. You know, it depends on what feels right to you. I'm just trying to give you some ideas, guys. Because I don't want you to feel bound to just these few things and think you have to have these in particular. If you really do want to see how I make this blend, because I have seriously itchy skin, bad skin allergies and things of that nature, and it's safe enough for children, let me know. I'll do a video on it, okay? Alright, on to the sage. So, again, you need, I put a little basil, a bit of rue, a bit of dried garden sage, and a bit of dried hyssop. And anything that you can use from your own garden or potted plants, the better. If you don't have any, that's not, that's okay. But I would encourage that you try to have a couple things. Even if you just have 2 or 3 little potted plants, but they're plants that A, grow well indoors, and B, you use them many things. I usually always try to have things that have medicinal and magical qualities, or the big three: medicinal, magical, and cooking. So I always have rosemary, I always have basil. What else do I make sure I have? I mean, I've had rue for a long time, hyssop for a long time, garden sage for a long time, parsley, you name it. Okay, I think we're done here. Oh, one little piece of sage escaped. He doesn't want to go in. He's saying, no, no. You're going to good use, my little friend, I promise. Okay. So I'm going to pour this mixture. Oh, you know what? No, I'm not. Not yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to grind it a bit. So guys, tell me what your few favorite herbs to work with are that like you can't witch without, if you have any. You know, or are there any specific ones that you love to grow and you always make sure are in your garden? Whether it's a flower, you know, maybe you have a beautiful rose bush, maybe you have beautiful hydrangea bushes, which I do. I'm very lucky. I have all of the colors: white, purple, pink, and blue. But they're on their way out now. I get a little sad this time of year as things are dying down. So as you're grinding, and you want to do it in a clockwise motion, but you know, whatever. You want to think about how this is going to cleanse you, bring in positive energy, and then you can do it in a counterclockwise motion. Depends on what you're thinking about, but you can do it in a counterclockwise motion, thinking about taking away any negative energy from you. Okay? And like I said, this is going to be a simple body scrub. If you already have a body scrub blend and you don't really feel like making it or don't know how, which I can easily show you, you can just use sugar, no joke, or salt. You don't need all the herbs with the oil. Alright, now we pour the herbs into our container. Here we go. And I don't want this to be super gritty and hurt my skin barrier, so I'm not going to do too much salt. Do the other side here. It's going to take forever that way. Try to hold it up so you can see. Alright, so just a thin coating, and after I add everything else, I'll see if I need more. There are no exact measurements, guys. We eyeball these things. I did lessen and power this, which you do not have to do. I just did, so that way each time I use it, I'm adding a little extra magical intent. So I didn't add too much because, like I said, this is just for a one-time use, maybe two. Alright, so I'm going to mix that. Okay, now I'm going to add just a little bit of oil, just a little, okay? You can always add more, but you can never take away. But if you end up having to add more herbs or salt, that's okay. Alright, now I'm going to mix and see what consistency we have. and I'll show you as soon as I'm done. Now, you can use a drop or two of essential oil. Just be very, very careful with those. Okay? They're very potent. A lot of them are not safe for the skin. Like cinnamon. God, I saw a girl on YouTube. Not all 20-year-olds are like this. I'm sure there are some that have been through the ringer a lot for somebody their age and have life experience. But a lot of them don't. And they're trying to give all these people advice when they've never been in these places in life before. She's talking about, you know, these ways to remove hexes and curses, they're true miracles. And one of her miracle thingies, I had to click on the video to watch this because it just sounded too funny, was taking a long bath, which ain't none of us got time for that. Yeah, like a lot of us, or you don't have a bathtub, because you don't have mommy and daddy paying for everything. Or in my case, I have something going on with me medically where I can't get something wet on my body, so it's too risky to soak in a tub. So I have to shower, which is fine during the summer especially. Okay. Anyway, she said to put a bath together with dragon's blood, cinnamon, salt, and something else. I forget what the other ingredient called for, was. But I'm thinking, girl, have you ever cleaned a tub in your life? Dragon's blood, it stains like crazy. It's used in magical ink, for God's sake. And cinnamon is a major skin irritant. So I'm just saying, girl, get off of here. You're gonna cause so many people to get angry at their stained bathtubs and, you know, getting UTIs because they put in cinnamon. Oh, God. Alright, so, see how it's sticking to me just a bit? So I'm going to add just a little bit more because not quite where I want it, and the longer it sits, and I do recommend putting this together at least an hour before you take your shower. But if you want to, like, just do it the night before and mix it on up and pop it in your fridge until you can get the shower, feel free. That's usually how I do it. And you may need to add a little oil after that amount of time. So just play around with it till it's the consistency that you like for a body scrub. You can use fractionated coconut oil too, by the way. That's another good one. If you work with any of the Orishas, that's a good one. But I tend to go for grapeseed quite a bit because it's cheap, it's light, there's really not much fragrance at all, and I like it. Rice bran oil is another good one. Sometimes I'll add a splash of avocado oil. My skin is even more dry than normal, which I don't know if that's possible. I peel like a snake. Crazy. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. And I like to shake this up a bit, real quick. Put in my intentions. Cleanse me, mind, body, and spirit. Clear away all negative energies that have been placed upon me, whether it's by other people, spirits, or words from my own mouth. And then Now there is not much in here, as you can see. I may need to add a little more salt. And I will probably add a little more colloidal oats and powdered milk. Because they are very moisturizing and the salt can dry out your skin. We don't want that. But salt is a wonderful purifier. Alright, almost done here. Sorry that these videos take a while for me, but I like to explain everything in full. Give you guys, all the information, other options, if there are any, things of that nature. By the way, I'm having what is this? Passion berry tea, and then I added a green tea bag for the caffeine because I needed a little of that today, which is rare. I normally don't drink caffeine. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I have a piece of clear quartz here. This is optional, but I like to do it. So I will take this quartz and I will program it for what I want it to do. Take away negativity, mind, body, and spirit, whether it be from other people, negative spirits, energy that is around me, or words spoken by my own tongue. Amen. And I put that on the top. Now, the next step is going to be a bit controversial. Most witches don't, like a lot of witches, should I say, do not use the Bible or the Psalms. I use some of the Psalms and work with saints, things like that, because I work heavily in folk magic, Italian folk magic. It's just what feels right to me. But you bless and consecrate this however you want to do it. You can say something very simple along the lines of, remove all negativity from anything this touches, so would it be. And you can leave it that simply. But I like reciting Psalm 23 over a lot of things because it can be used for so much. So I'm going to be reciting that now. And if you need the psalm, you can look it up or let me know and I can put it down in the description. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He restoreth my soul. He guides me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and thy staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. And you let that quartz crystal do its thing for a little bit of time. You'll just remove it and rinse it off when it's time to use the scrub. So, like I said, you can, when you're in the shower, and you need to do a body scrub anyway, so you do it once a week or once every 2 weeks, something like that. Some people are pretty religious with it. Use this if you feel like you need some spiritual cleansing. I would recommend doing this once every 3 months, at least. It's just a good way to get gunk off of you. Like when we go to work, when we go out to the grocery store, whatever it may be, we're just gonna pick up on some negative energy and it can stick to us. I mean, we can't help it. We're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. It just happens. So after you use this, at the end of your shower. You rinse off, and you do not want to wipe yourself down. You want to air dry. And I like to use a little bit of Florida water in a spray bottle mixed with some regular water because it is a bit drying. And do a quick spritz, like especially over my head, because I don't wash my hair every time I take a shower, or I'll wash it in the sink separately from my shower. So you can do that, or you can choose to, use a cleansing smudge bundle, like sage, palo. I like to make my own bundles, and I'm going to be showing you how to do that. And yeah, okay. So like I said, I'm going to be showing you a few other ways to spiritually cleanse. And then we will get into some of the nice, not so nice work. If you have any questions about this, or you definitely want to see the recipe for how I make this specific bath and shower blend that's really good at calming the skin down and making it soft, and it's all natural, safe for kids, let me know, and I'd be happy to do that video. And yeah, that's it. Guys, I am taking clients again right now, but the space available is very limited because, number one, I'm a bit picky on who I'll take on, and two, I'm only taking so many to start with right now. It might grow as time goes on, but I'm only doing so many at a time at the moment, so I can really dedicate my time to each client in the way I see fit. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me. As again, I feel very honored that you did. Blessed be, peace, and stay cool.